Like to go from that deep depression of possibly taking your life, right, to most spirited.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
God.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh,
like
God.
seriously, that is the Lord. Now, talk about this new business that you have going on. You have something up your sleeve. Let's talk about it.
So, I started a business as a life coach, and I finally come to terms with the life coach term, because when I was planning this business and I felt like God had laid something on my heart that, you know, was in line with my giftings and with my purpose and with my passion and my drive, I was looking for ways to call it anything but a life coach. Because in my mind, who needs a life coach? Like, we have friends for that. Like, it's basically paying somebody to be your friend. But no matter what, when I was helping people and they were seeing results, and they were leaving, you know, with this boost of confidence and with this, like, you know, new drive, you were like, oh my gosh, you're just like a life coach. This is so good. And I was like, okay, not a life coach, but sure. Then did a radio interview. Started off as a planning coach. By the end of the segment, you're such a great life coach. Let's do a segment. So I'm like, all right, cool. Guess I'm a life coach now. But yeah, that's the business. It's basically meeting with people one-on-one and coaching them into their next big step, their big dreams, whatever it is. I find that people have these ideas, have these goals, but it's so hard to attain them, especially when life is filled with all these distractions and things can get really overwhelming. And so my goal is to just kind of provide a holistic approach. There's just so many things that set us back, not even just drive and ambition and the know-how, but also physically. Are we fit enough to step into this next step? Are we eating properly? Are we sleeping well? Are we spiritually whole? Are we mentally whole? Are we practically whole? Like, are we making the right steps? Are we in the right environment? Do we have the right relationships? And so kind of taking an assessment of your life and figuring out where the barriers are and how to overcome those barriers. Because I've been able to, I've gone through a lot. I've been through a whole lot. I'm writing a book about it, and I know we'll get to that part. But I like to use what I've learned in going through those experiences to really encourage people that there's just no excuses. Like, you can overcome, you can live your dreams, and you can make those things happen. So let's stop making excuses and let's start making some impact.
Right. So, and that is why it's called Build Confidence, Build Productivity, Do Damage.
So let's do damage.com is a website that's about to be a thing, and that entails a product that I'm developing. It's ultimately a planner and prayer journal combined, because so often we make these goals, but then we don't include God. And just, you know, based on the testimony that I shared with about my sister, and then my testimony about launching this business, and God just kind of like placing the vision in my heart, and me just walking through this whole process with him, asking him when to launch, asking him what it should look like, after waiting for his go ahead and things like that. Some of the reason why we don't see impact and results towards our goals is because we're trying to do it on our own. And so the idea behind this planner is that you weave the two together. So your career isn't separate from God. Ministry is ministry wherever you are. If you're a Christian, then you're walking as a Christian wherever you are. And I see my, you know, even my position as director at the nonprofit as an opportunity to minister to people, to help them be delivered. So when someone's having lateness issues, it isn't just a lateness issue. I'm asking what's going on there. And I'm uncovering different issues like depression, because they have a hard time getting up in the morning, and I'm able to guide them towards something, or at least pray with them in my office. I'm uncovering issues with people dealing with family members that are, you know, that have cancer, and seeing like God completely move. I mean, I had one colleague in my office, you know, just completely breaks down. Her grandma, stage 4 cancer. Within a month of us praying right there in my office, no cancer. So it's so important that we walk constantly in ministry, and we don't separate the two. We don't just get our Jesus in on Sunday and then go to work and forget all of that. And so I want to design something that makes it so that that's easy and that it's ingrained in our day-to-day. Because I believe that the biggest way that we can do damage is by including God and, you know, having this holistic approach. So the planner, as well as the motivation, you know, speaking opportunities and engagements. You know, I can definitely book to talk to a group of young women, talk about my experience and what I've been able to overcome, because there's a lot of women that are just, you know, suffer from lack of identity, suffer from lack of self-worth, and I want to be able to, you know, kind of meet them where they are and let them know that there is hope, that they can live the life that they desire. And so yeah, that's the plan with that website, and it's going to be like kind of a one-stop shop for you to get all the resources you need on how to do damage, other speakers and articles and things like that. And then my website, beccabakre.com, is where you can reach me to find out about setting up a coaching session.
Nice. You are doing a lot. And I love it. I love it. I love it. You spoke about identity. Let's speak on that really quickly. I'm going to have you back to talk about the book. That's what we're going to do. But before we go, we have a few moments left. Let's talk about identity. My favorite question that I ask every single person that sits in this chair: what is your royal ID? And what I mean by that is, what is the new name that God gave you? You know, oftentimes we give ourselves a name, or the world gave us a name, or someone, a bully, someone gave us a name. For example, mine used to be Reject, and now it's fully accepted, fully loved with high calling. What is your new royal ID? What name did God give you?
Well, for me growing up, because I've come to terms with the fact that I'm a leader and that, you know, I have a very aggressive approach to getting things done and seeing results. But growing up, it was hard for me because that personality was confused with anger and aggression. And, you know, some of that was anger, some of that was aggression. But because I've allowed God in to heal certain parts, it's no longer anger. So I was able to pull out the negative parts that the devil tried to use to manipulate my hurt and turn into anger, and now just hone those qualities and those characteristics of aggression. Still sounds like such a you know, aggressive and negative word, but I guess you could say driven. So ultimately, I struggled a lot with that identity because it was all then seen as intimidating to men, to women, and because of that, I was sort of put in the box as, you know, oh, she does too much. And I struggled with that because there were times where I'd be like, God, why can't anyone accept me for this? Is there something wrong with me? I tried to change it. You know, women are supposed to be meek and humble and graceful, and, you know, even family members would be like, you need to tone it down. And I would try to, and nothing would work. And there was a moment after I got saved, somewhere around 26, where I was like, I made you that way for a reason. And I was like, why? How am I ever going to get married with such an aggressive personality? But he told me, look at my surroundings. If I was going to be a director of a nonprofit working in Baltimore City, one of the hardest and toughest cities to live in and work in, I wouldn't be able to handle the pressure of driving this mission forward, working in impoverished neighborhoods, working in neighborhoods of distress, and then also being an advocate for them. I mean, there's so much just systemic things that are destructive, and I now have a seat at the table, and I have the ability to demand certain things on behalf of the weak and the widowed and the fatherless. And that's exactly what the word says. And so God would always take me to Isaiah 61, and it starts off just that way, that, you know, you were called to, you know, be a defender for them, and, you know, do better than someone with an aggressive personality. And so God let me know that, you know, you have those characteristics for a reason. Don't try to change them. I'm going to use them, and you will meet that person. You will meet somebody that is not intimidated by that. And everyone that has been intimidated by that, they just weren't it. And they won't be able to handle the pressure of working with and alongside and doing ministry with me in the very tough circumstances in which I have to. So it's difficult, it's challenging, but I've learned to utilize the characteristics that God has given me to, you know, see these things driven forward. And yeah, it was terrible. And now it's great because I've now stepped into my identity and I've accepted my identity. And so I would say my royal ID is accepted, because for a while I was rejected for my personality traits. And now I would say I'm accepted, appreciated, and admired for those traits.
Thank you so much, Becca, for joining me for this Royal ID exclusive interview. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Make sure you keep it locked for the next episode. I'll talk to an athlete who is taking his career to a whole nother level, literally. As always, seek and know your royal inheritance. And until next time, faith, love, hope, peace.